Sometimes what speaks loudest in attraction is what's never said at all. A woman who is secretly drawn to you often expresses it in ways that feel ordinary, even casual, but carry an emotional undercurrent if you're paying attention. One of the most consistent signs lies in the way she becomes emotionally curious about you, not just polite or friendly, but deeply engaged with your inner world. She notices what you say even when it's subtle. She remembers small details that others easily overlook, and she circles back to topics you once mentioned because they matter to her simply because they matter to you. She's not just listening to your words, she's listening between them. This emotional attentiveness is never loud or demanding. It's quiet, consistent, and meaningful. It shows in how she mirrors your moods, laughs when you laugh, and becomes gently protective of your energy. In conversation, she doesn't just ask questions to fill the silence, she asks because she wants to understand you better. There's a certain warmth in her tone, a softness in her responses, and sometimes, when the topic becomes personal, a shared vulnerability that feels like you're both speaking beneath the surface. If you mention something that hurt you or stressed you out, she doesn't just say, "That's tough." She leans in, emotionally and maybe even physically, and asks, "What was that like for you?" This is the kind of presence that signals more than just interest. It reveals emotional investment. Her attraction isn't about the surface, it's about seeing and being seen. You may also notice that she finds subtle ways to emotionally align with you. If you're passionate about something, she wants to learn more about it, not performatively but sincerely. She wants to inhabit your world because she wants to be closer to you without making it obvious. And when you're not around, she might follow up on things you care about, check in on how something went, or bring up conversations you had days ago. These small acts are part of her emotional echo, a way of showing that she carries parts of you with her. She may not come out and declare her feelings, but her emotional curiosity is a clear doorway into a deeper attraction. It's tender, vulnerable, and entirely intentional. When a woman is secretly attracted to you, she doesn't necessarily give herself away with dramatic gestures. Instead, she creates small emotional bridges and watches to see if you'll meet her halfway. The beauty of these signs is in their subtlety. They don't demand attention, but they reward awareness. The truth is, desire often whispers before it speaks. Attraction, when hidden, often reveals itself through a subtle yet persistent dance between emotional curiosity and protective restraint. A woman who is secretly drawn to you doesn't always voice it directly, but her presence shifts around you in meaningful ways. She begins to mirror your emotional rhythms, paying attention to how you speak, what moves you, and how your energy rises or falls. She becomes quietly attuned, asking about things others might forget, not to pry, but to genuinely understand you. It's this emotional attentiveness that often serves as the first sign, where the small talk fades and a deeper kind of listening begins. She might remember what you said days ago, ask how something turned out, or show concern in a way that feels warm but not overbearing. That's not politeness, it's emotional investment. At the same time, another layer of her hidden attraction often shows up in the form of quiet territoriality. It's not the loud, possessive kind, but something far more subtle. Perhaps she playfully teases when she sees another woman close to you, or her energy noticeably shifts when you mention someone else's name. It could be the slight tension in her voice, a hesitation in her response, or even a carefully neutral smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. These are not signs of drama, they're signs of care. It's the unspoken way of saying, "You matter to me," without directly expressing it. She may not act on it, but her emotional response betrays a deeper layer of feeling. It's her internal push and pull, the desire to be close and the fear of being too obvious. This protective energy doesn't only surface in social settings. It can appear in the way she defends your ideas when others dismiss them, or the way she shifts conversations to bring out your strengths. There's a consistent thread in her behavior that supports you without calling attention to itself. She becomes your quiet ally, your mirror, and your gentle challenger all at once. That blend of emotional curiosity and subtle protectiveness is where the heart of hidden attraction lies. She sees you, not just the surface you, but the version of you that often stays unspoken. So when you start to notice someone who is constantly emotionally available to you, yet never steps too far into your space, someone who cares about your world but keeps her distance just enough not to overstep, you're not imagining things. You're witnessing a woman navigating the delicate territory between affection and vulnerability. And that's exactly where attraction loves to live, just beneath the words, just beneath the surface. There's something powerful in the way a woman subtly shifts her energy when she's secretly drawn to someone. You may not catch it at first. It's not in grand declarations or dramatic gestures. It's in the delicate balance she holds between being close enough to be noticed and distant enough to protect her feelings. This tension between proximity and restraint is one of the most telling yet overlooked signs of hidden attraction. She finds ways to be around you casually without ever making it seem intentional. Maybe she lingers a little longer in conversation, chooses to sit nearby, or shows up in places where she knows you'll be. But there's always that slight holding back, an unspoken boundary that says, I'm here, but I'm still watching. That balance isn't hesitation, it's vulnerability in motion. You'll notice this dance more clearly when her actions don't quite match the emotional undertone. For example, she might playfully tease you, then change the subject before things get too real. She might compliment you, then laugh it off as if it didn't mean much. These aren't mixed signals, they're carefully crafted emotional safety nets. She wants to be seen, but only by someone who knows how to look. This restraint isn't lack of interest. It's desire wrapped in caution, especially in women who value emotional integrity and don't offer their attraction lightly. Another layer to this hidden attraction is how she handles silence. In conversations, silence isn't uncomfortable with her. It's charged. You may feel that unspoken current when both of you stop talking and neither of you rushes to fill the space. That's not awkwardness, it's emotional presence. When she's attracted to you, she's comfortable in your energy, even without words. Her restraint isn't emptiness, it's intentionality. It's the space she allows for something more meaningful to unfold. And within this restraint, she begins to mirror your emotional tone. When you're light, she's playful. When you're serious, she softens. When you're vulnerable, she doesn't shrink. She leans in quietly, but never too far. It's a slow, intentional rhythm she's following, hoping you notice. It's not manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. It's about sensing your pace and matching it without overwhelming or exposing herself too quickly. So while the world may be looking for loud signs, bold moves, and direct confessions, the truth is that attraction often hides in the pauses, the distances, and the near but not quite moments. The restraint she shows isn't indifference, it's her way of giving you space to see her, to feel her presence, and to respond. And that's where the real depth of attraction begins, not in what is said, but in what is withheld with intention. Sometimes the clearest evidence of a woman's hidden attraction lies in how she brings her best self forward around you. It's not always conscious, but it's deeply felt. When she's secretly drawn to you, she instinctively wants to be seen, not just noticed, but truly seen, in her best light. Her posture shifts subtly, her tone warms, and there's a liveliness in her presence that's uniquely reserved for moments when you're near. She might laugh more freely, speak more confidently, or share little pieces of herself that she doesn't reveal to everyone. This isn't about impressing, it's about connecting. There's a difference. She's not trying to become someone she's not. She's becoming more of who she is, hoping you'll notice the details she carefully curates for your attention. Her effort isn't loud or flashy. It might be as simple as dressing with more intention, showing up with fresh energy, or mentioning something she knows aligns with your interests. It's in these tiny decisions that her attraction shows. For instance, she remembers your favorite band and casually brings them up. Or she shows an interest in your passions, not because she's trying to win approval, but because she genuinely wants to find a deeper point of connection. These efforts are her way of leaning in emotionally while appearing to stay on neutral ground. She plays it cool, but the undercurrent is warm and unmistakably personal. You might also see her taking pride in her accomplishments around you, but in a way that invites closeness rather than distance. She's not boasting, she's opening a door. When she tells you about a recent success, a project she's proud of, or something she's been working on internally, it's often with the hope that you'll see her not just as someone attractive, but as someone inspiring. A woman who is secretly attracted to you wants you to value her essence, not just her appearance. Her confidence isn't for show, it's an offering. What's also revealing is how attuned she becomes to your energy. When you're excited, she meets your enthusiasm. When you're quiet, she softens and listens. That emotional adaptability is a sign that she's prioritizing emotional resonance. And yet, she never makes it obvious. That's the art of it. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but undeniable once you learn to look beyond the surface. So, if you ever find yourself wondering why she seems a little more alive around you, why her laughter lingers just a beat longer, or why her energy feels so intentionally present, it's not just charm. It's attraction in its most graceful form, honest, vulnerable, and quietly hopeful. Attraction doesn't always begin with bold moves or confessions. It often starts with the simple act of presence. One of the clearest signs a woman is secretly attracted to you is how consistently she makes herself available, not in a forced or obvious way, but with a kind of gentle persistence. You'll find that she's often there at the right moment, offering a text, a glance, a helping hand, or simply her attention. This presence isn't accidental. It's intentional, yet delicately disguised as coincidence or friendship. It's her way of showing she's tuned into your rhythm without ever claiming your space. She gives you time, energy, and emotional bandwidth not to gain something, but because being around you feels meaningful to her, even if she hasn't fully admitted that to herself. When she's attracted but keeping it under wraps, she doesn't just show up physically, she shows up emotionally. She listens closely, reacts thoughtfully, and remembers things most people forget. If you mention a struggle, she checks in a few days later. If something makes you laugh, she references it the next time you talk. These aren't random acts of kindness, they're quiet gestures of care. This consistent availability is how she builds emotional intimacy with you, brick by brick, without appearing too forward. It's a safe way to be near you while gauging whether you feel the same.